Let me tell you something. A driver don't pick the car. Car pick the driver. It's a mystical bond between man and machine. It's a mystical bond between man.
What's up, you beautiful collectors and Transformer fans? It's the one and only Optibotimus coming to you with another video review. And on today's episode, one that I think a lot of people have been looking forward to, we're going to be taking a look at the new Transformer Studio Series Deluxe Class CLIFFJUMPER, as he briefly appeared in the Bumblebee movie. I say briefly because, spoiler alert, he dies. Yeah, wasn't pretty. But for the packaging on him, much like the Studio Series figures we've gotten before, you got the Transformer text with the Generation logo. Nice open window that fully showcases the figure. Of course, you got a CGI image there. Like I said, he comes from the Transformers Bumblebee film. The side of the package has an up-close image of his face, which does look really good. The other side here is a pulled-back image of him. Kind of looks like him. This kind of looks like it's a heavy retool. I haven't really paid much attention to this figure. Come around to the back of the package, you see that he transforms in 20 steps. Got his vehicle, robot mode, all that stuff. He comes with his backdrop, which apparently is Cybertron Falls. I don't know if that's a waterfall or they're just saying that Cybertron has fallen. Either way, there is the packaging for this guy. So without further ado, let's get him out here and see how cool he actually is. Alright guys, so here we have CLIFFJUMPER opened up out of his packaging and obviously in his vehicle mode. Now starting off first, he does come with the exact same weapon that Jeep Bumblebee came with. It's nice, I mean it works the way that it needs to. In terms of weapon storage, it kind of is annoying. Underneath here are little slots that you tab this in. It's like almost impossible to get it lined up properly. But these little silver tabs have to tab into that, and it's really tricky to do it underneath here. I mean, you can do it if you pop the hood up and everything, and even the instructions tell you to do it like that, but then when you close it, it tends to dislodge it and makes it fall out. So you do have weapon storage, but it's pretty stupid. Vehicle mode wise though, I think that it's really cool. It definitely has a very War for Cybertron video game sort of look. And honestly, I don't think we saw him in vehicle mode in the Bumblebee film. But it does absolutely work. It really does convey that Cybertronian look. Now, the amazing thing is, it is an extensive retool of this Jeep Bumblebee that we got. You can see several of the same kind of design elements other way around, with like the arms, the chest and everything. Interesting that the front is the back and the back is the front, but I guess that makes sense because this piece kind of folds over. So they basically upside downed him, which I mean is really cool. I mean, you can see that these things do not really look anything alike. So that's impressive. I like that. I think that was a really nice sort of feat of engineering. But this figure is definitely a mixed bag for me. I think that it could have been a lot better. But the vehicle mode wise, like I said, it does what it needs to do. It rolls very nicely. You got some nice red accents on the tires. You got some clear bits, like this whole top section is mostly done in this clear plastic, and then it's painted. The color match is decent enough. It always amazes me that they can get this matched pretty well, but like this doesn't match very well. Like the yellow plastic is not the same thing as the yellow paint. So this, I mean, there is a noticeable difference, but it doesn't stand out nearly as bad. But I do like how they use this clear section here so that it allows you to have clear kind of headlights here, which I do like. You got like these 3 different clear sections here, which gives it an almost insect sort of look. I really dig that. I like that little round section right there. Very cool. The back section here looks like it's some kind of like engine detailing or something. But I mean, it's a little yellow car. And I'm apparently colorblind because it's a red car. But whatever. But for the transformation on him, you're going to want to separate this a little bit. Kind of pull this away and then dislodge this piece. You can hinge this section back. Now, this is what I was talking about. You got these little posts in here where you take this and you're going to wedge these in there. Just like that. And then, like I said, to put it back in, it's a little bit tricky to do and not get it to pop out. I don't know if I'm... See, I mean, that's what I'm talking about. Like, as soon as it hits, basically the legs here, it pops it out. So it doesn't stay in there very well, and that's kind of annoying. honestly. But we're going to hinge this back. Let's get that. There we go. You can fold this around. You got a little tab section on the top that's going to slot into that back section. So just bring that there, and then you can fold this down just like that. Come around here to the bottom. You can then wiggle some parts away like this and this. There we are. Then pull that away as well. These legs, you can split these, and then come around here. I'm going to take this whole section, get this out of the way. There we go. This kind of creates some clearance for you. So now we got that. We're going to take the foot. We're going to fully extend it at the ankle, and then this little section here, you fold down. Do that on this side as well. Again, kind of wiggle that, get that, extend this all the way out, and then fold that down. Now, this is part I think absolutely sucks. You're going to take this section, you're going to rotate this around to the back, and then take the tire and tuck that right there. Nothing locks in, nothing securely fastens things. It just kind of sits there, which is not good. And we're going to take this, and then this is going to rotate down. And then this piece, let's see here. On that side right there is a little post. That little square thing you're going to line up, and then you kind of just put it there. It's too small of a post. The hole is too big, something of the nature. And then you kind of have to push it in. And what ends up happening is it's not meant to go in. You're literally just bending the plastic. And when you do it, it instantly comes right back out. So if they wanted that to stay in to securely lock everything, they needed to make that post bigger, but they didn't for whatever reason, or at least make the hole bigger, or something like, or make the hole on this section here smaller so that friction keeps it in, because otherwise this is all loose. So kind of sucks in terms of that overall design, but we'll get to that here more in a bit. Take this, again, we're going to rotate this around, take the tire, rotate this, and then that just sits in the cavity there, and that just kind of sits there along the side. Rotate this down, and kind of put that right there. And there you have his legs done. Come around here, take this. I guess you can take that entire section, kind of pull that away. Fold this piece down. You can take this, you can rotate these kind of out to the side, and this is going to come up here and get that kind of out of the way. Let's see. Bring this around. And that has to, what did I do wrong here? Hinge that, there we go. And then bring this there. Wait, no, I want that to go all the way up. There we are. Can you get that out of the way? So you can bring, oh, take the head. Paul, what am I doing? Take the head section in here. Pull this out. And then you can bring this up. And then this is going to come up here, and then on the inside here are little locking sections that you're going to take these two prongs and push those into. That will lock that into place there. Come around here to the front. On the inside, this is another clear plastic piece that initially was really stiff on mine when I was trying to bend it, and it still feels very stiff when you're trying to bend it, and it's clear plastic, so that instantly makes me nervous. Rotate the head down, and then tuck this down. Now these, you got all this section right here that locks everything in. So that's going to stay there. You're going to fold down the head. You're going to rotate these around a little bit, and there's one of the ugly problems, is giant neck. And we're going to take this and just fold this up along the back section. But when you're done, there you have Cliff Jumper in his really, I'm sorry, underwhelming looking robot mode. Now, honestly, he's not an atrocious figure. But honestly, there's a lot of individual elements that just don't come together to cohesively make a good figure, in my opinion. As you can see, the weapon is very similar. It just plugs in right here. So you do have that. You can take that off. But this guy really does, especially when you get the robot mode, you can see that there's a lot of similarities with that Jeep Bumblebee. Hell, honestly, I don't know why they didn't just make it Bumblebee out of this, because while we didn't see CLIFFJUMPER in his vehicle mode, we did see Bumblebee in it, and this is the exact sort of thing for Bumblebee. So I wouldn't be surprised if we get a repaint, and then if you take that Bumblebee head from that Jeep version, put it on here, call it a day, and now you have the opening version of the Bumblebee movie, that Bumblebee figure. But in general, he's decent, but like I said, there's just a lot that really does keep this figure from being good. The biggest thing that I don't like, well, there's two really. This big giant backpack. I don't like how this is at all. I mean, you can see where his body ends. You can see where his backpack is. That is gross. I mean, it's just way too big of a backpack. I guess you could mitigate it if you folded it down. But then you got a giant thing here. But, I mean, that looks a little bit better, I think. Not as big. The other thing is these legs. Nothing in here locks into place or tabs. Let me bring in Bumblebee for a comparison. Also, his feet kind of suck. Here we have Bumblebee. Now, with his legs, everything tabbed in very securely. Like these pieces here locked in. It's not a floppy mess for the most part. But like I said, you could just take that head off because it's the exact same thing. You can put it on there and you can have that, Cybertronian version of Bumblebee. But here they are side by side. Obviously, this did a much better job of cleaning up the backpack. The legs tab in. Everything's nice and secure, although the joint's a little bit loose on that one. This just, everything is floppy. I mean, nothing locks in. I mean, it kind of sort of pretends to right there, but again, not really on purpose. I mean, I guess you could just like, I don't know. It sucks. I'm sorry. These legs are just terrible on him. There's no excuse really, in my opinion, for that. It's fine as CLIFFJUMPER. I mean, that's cool. I mean, that we're getting a CLIFFJUMPER figure. They could have done a much better job. Now, I don't necessarily think that they needed to go all out and give us a brand new mold, because CLIFFJUMPER is oftentimes a variant of Bumblebee. So it's perfectly fine, in my opinion, but I really think that they should have done a much better job of figuring out a way to get everything here to lock into place, because as it is, it just flops around and it's a giant mess. You can see a lot of the same elements. Obviously, the chest sort of thing is the same with that transformation. The arms are very similar. The legs are a little bit different because you have to rotate those around for the transformation. That's just kind of flat right there. The arms, I'm trying to look at the arms. The arms look like they're the exact same, except for the upper part of the arm. Are those? No, those are the exact same too. So the whole arms are the same. They're just repainted. The thighs are the same as well. Again, you just got some yellow paint there. The legs have been completely, or the lower portion of the legs have been completely redone. The back section is obviously different, but the way that everything tabs in is very similar. So obviously, it's an extensive retool. But I think they did a good job in terms of engineering it. I just don't like what they did with the legs. I think that is just terrible. Articulation-wise, the head is on this swivel, and then you got a hinge right here. Again, I think that they did the Bumblebee one a little bit better, although that's still ugly because of hinging on the base of the neck. So that's not good, but it is what it is. You got ball joints here for the shoulders. You have a rotation at the elbow, a hinge, nothing at the wrists. The waist does rotate. You have a ball joint for the hips. You got a rotation at the upper part of the thigh, bends at the knee, but as soon as you touch it, everything just falls apart. It does have a ball joint here at the ankle, really stiff ball joint, so you can pivot that a little bit, get some wider poses with it. I feel like it's too stiff of a ball joint, almost like when they redid this, they didn't have the right diameter for the ball section, so it makes everything else really very tight. Like you can see there, I mean, it's and then you try rotating it, and it's going to dislodge everything. But that's really, really tight to the point where I feel like the plastic is kind of like I feel it pushing on it, and that's gonna put pressure on that joint until it finally rotates, and then it releases some of that pressure. But I don't like that really at all. I mean, I'm just not a fan of this figure. You might be, and if you are, great. If you're a Cliff Jumper fan, here's another one for you. I just think that they really could have done a much, much better job. God, it's annoying. But I think they could have done a much, much better job with this toy. Okay, now to transform him back, it's a mess. So we're going to straighten out his head, pull out his chest, kind of just like that, and then fold this whole section out just like so. Take the little middle section and bring that in again. I don't like, I mean, that's really stiff. I don't like it because, as I said, that is a clear plastic and makes me nervous. Go ahead and come around to the back. Take this, you can pull this away, and then you can rotate these bits. Get that all the way out. And you can rotate this around. And right before you bring it all the way in, go ahead and take the head and rotate that all the way to the back. Right, there we go. So got that in there. Just like that. And then you come down here to these arms. You're going to want to rotate these around. You got a little post on the inside here that you're going to want to fiddle with here in a bit. So rotate this around like that. Rotate this around like that. We'll bring all that in here. Well, you got the post right there. It's going to lock into a little square section right there. So just bring that up, kind of put that around there. That's basically where you're going to want it, but you'll be able to kind of fiddle with that a little bit more, although you can probably put it there and it'll probably work out pretty decently. It just probably will come undone. Take this, rotate this up, get this kind of out of the way, rotate this around, and then tab this in along the side there. Do that on this side as well. Rotate this back, bring this over, and tab that along the side thusly. Take these legs, we're going to rotate all this stuff around. Oh, let's see, let's bring these pieces up, bring that up, and then this, you're going to bring that down, and then these you can take and rotate these out to the side. There we go, like that, and then tab that along that section right there. Do that on this side as well. So bring this up, pull that over, and around, putting that down there. Then take this, you're going to hinge this up on both sides, and then these are going to lock in right alongside that front fender section. Do that on this side as well. Lock that in, and you can bring the two halves together, squeeze that together just like so. Straighten this section out, and then you can straighten this. Now this is where you would take this and tab this in. Like I said, I feel like it doesn't ever want to stay there, so this is where it's going to be for the moment. And then fold this, kind of line all that up, and then bring this down, and then kind of push this in, and watch this come flying out here. It's going to happen. I know it is. Oh, wait. Oh, my gosh. Did I do it without making it pop out? Oh, there's a whole bunch of... You got to really squeeze all this down. Yeah. Oh, well. Don't really care too much about the storage. Just kind of squeeze all this. Make sure that's all there. Squeeze that down. Just like that, and when you're done, there you have Cliff Jumper back in his vehicle mode. I mean, maybe I am being a little bit overly critical. The backpack I could probably get over. A lot of Transformers have backpacks. That's not that big of a deal. The legs, though, I just feel are completely, without a doubt, unacceptable. Literally, everything on there just kind of hangs off, and when you touch it, it flops around, it falls apart. It's a terrible design. They did so good with Bumblebee, but obviously Bumblebee's feet look completely different in the vehicle mode. So they had to do something a little bit different with this guy, and I get it, but I just don't understand how Hasbro's able to do so many other Studio Series figures well that they just completely crapped on this guy. To me, this is just a letdown. I have no interest in keeping the figure. I'm more than likely going to get rid of it. But yeah, I'm not going to keep this. I have no interest in it. But there you go. If you're a Cliffjumper fan, you'll probably want to add it to your collection just because it is a Cliffjumper figure. But this is not one that I would recommend really at all. So, all that being said, if he is a figure that you would like to add to your collection, he is hitting various retail locations right now. So if you are looking for him, good luck and happy hunting. Or as always, the real easy thing to do is just go to Big Bad Toy Store. For that, I'll put a link right down in the video description where you can go to BBTS and check out availability on this guy, as well as the rest of the wide range of Transformer figures. But beyond that, guys, that's about it. If you enjoyed the video, please remember to like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. It really does go a long way towards helping me out, and I would really very much appreciate it. Also, I want to send a huge shout out to all of my patrons who, through their continued support, now more than ever, help to make reviews like this possible. And if you'd like information on how you can help support my channel by becoming a patron, feel free to check out my Patreon page at patreon.com/Optibotimus. And as always, remember that the real trouble with the world is that too many people grow up. Thank you for watching and taking the time to be a kid.